Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our push-in ceremony event for fire engine number 2. I'd like to thank you for being in attendance today. I'd like to welcome the ones who are joining us online on our social media as well. And we just thank you for all being here and being here for this occasion. I've got a few thank yous I want to share with you right quick. I want to say thanks to Chief Mike Lefevre, Chief Terry Sosby, and the staff for making this possible today. Our public information team, Bryce Barrett and Chief Don Strength for providing the live footage and all today. We thank you for that. I'd also like to thank our former Chief Seth Weaver, whose vision was behind this vehicle and putting it together with his team at the time, and we want to thank him for being here this morning. Thank you, Seth. Our vendor, Fireline Incorporated out of Winder, Georgia, Mr. Billy McDonald's here representing Fireline, and we thank you for your help with this project, Billy, and your team at Fireline, and the E1 staff out of Ocala, Florida, who built this truck, did an amazing job. Our county manager, Mike Renshaw, for his support. Our previous county manager, Joy Cason, was here when we started this project, and he helped us push this through. But our county commissioners is behind the whole thing, and we just thank you very much. Chairman Turner, Commissioner Bryant, Holcomb, Nix, and Goodger, we thank you for your support, unwavering support of the fire department and public safety in White County. I can say that these men really support our operations, and our sheriff's office can say the same thing. They're really good about public safety here in our county, and that's something we can be proud of. To the citizens of White County, you made this possible. Your sales tax dollars is at work. This is a SPLOST project out of the 2020 SPLOST, and we thank you for voting for that and being able to provide us some of this equipment that we need to provide you the safety services. A little bit of history about this fire station. This fire station came together with the community back in April of 1986. Several members of this community met out at the Union Grove Holiness Campground to form a volunteer fire department for the Leaf and White Creek communities. They purchased this property from Mr. Henry Grady Freeman, who lived just down the road here. And the community came together, and some of the original board members, you'll know some of these names: Mr. Jim Eller, J.B. Ramey, Odell Irvin, L.G. Pettit, Marvin Dean, Danny Dean, Lowell Pilgrim, Jimmy Hill, and Egbert Bowman was the first board of directors for the White Creek Volunteer Fire Department. In the early 90s, the White County Board of Commissioners combined all volunteer fire departments in White County and began construction of additional fire stations. The men and women of these volunteer fire stations served our community with hard work, lots of training, and sacrificing time away from their families. We applaud their service. Today, with the volunteer system dwindling, with there's less volunteers slowly eroding across our nation, we must hire career firefighters. And several years ago, the Board of Commissioners allowed us to hire our first full-time firefighters, and they started operating out of this station. We now have 3 full-time fire stations in White County, and the others are still served by dedicated volunteers, and we thank them for their hard work. This fire station is one of the busiest in the county, with over 600 runs just last year. So now I want to turn the podium over to our board chairman, Mr. Travis Turner, for his remarks, and then he will turn it over to Chief Lefevre, who will administer the push-in ceremony. Mr. Chairman.
There's not a lot I can state right now that has already been stated. As David was talking, I'm sitting here, David, you're stealing everything I was about to share with you. January 13th, 2022, just a little over a year ago, our board of commissioners, and that sun is pretty strong, so if I'm squinting at you, there's a reason why. I'm not winking at you. But our board of commissioners voted to allocate up to $435,000. And now that $435,000 is funded through our SPLOST dollars that has already been referenced by Director Murphy. $419,000 some change was allocated toward the actual purchase of the truck, with the difference making up the funding mechanism that we use to for the material, for the equipment, and tricking it out. That may not be a right word, but you know what I mean by that. We've been very blessed in our county and the community, and I appreciate David's comments to our citizens by voting in the SPLOST a couple of few years ago and the continuation of it. That's how we do fund many of our capital campaigns, one being this fire truck that we're standing to my left, your right at. A lot of our Sheriff's Department patrol cars and equipment, and a lot of our capital, such as building of buildings and so on. We've been very blessed in our county to be able to purchase these, like this fire truck, for example. I'm very thankful for this. Has no debt. And to be in a position when needs arise reasonably to be able to fund these and without encumbering our citizens on the hook for a debt load that at some point could come back to bite us. I'm very thankful. And we've been very blessed in our county and community. For those who attend our Board of Commissioners meetings on a regular basis, we try to make many comments, and we want to give thanks, and I mean this with all my heart. We have been blessed, and I thank God for the wisdom that He's given to us as a community, how to fund these activities. But as I've spoke about the equipment, as I have spoke about what we've done with the funding, you can have all the nice equipment in the world, but what matters is who's standing behind it. I'm going to brag on our fire department. We have the most phenomenal group of trained personnel that I believe any rural community can have. Do I need to be quiet for a moment? We're good? Okay. If you guys need to go, and that's actually was going to be part of my comments, is those situations like that, when our citizens, when I call, you call 911, we're in distress, something's happening. And ladies and gentlemen, we have the most phenomenal group of men and women who are going to respond to your need, to take care of whatever situation that might be. That may be through the fire department, that may be through the sheriff's department, through EMS, through our ambulance service. We have a phenomenal group of folks, and we couldn't do what we do without that. And we're going to see some movement apparently going on, so if we need to move, Director Murphy, tell us to move and tell us to get out of the way, because that's what matters first. With that, I do want to give a shout out. I'm going to start narrowing this down, and it's hard to tell. Commissioner Goodger, District 1 is here. District 4 Commissioner Craig Bryan is here. I don't believe Commissioner Nix or Commissioner Holcomb, are they here? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, Commissioner Holcomb, I apologize. I'm looking straight in the sun, and everybody else is smart and wore your sunglasses. I didn't. So I appreciate the support of our Board of Commissioners. We may not always be able to say yes to everything that comes before us, because please know we're trying to balance large pools of money, but we are praying for wisdom. But a special shout out to Director Murphy, Chief Lefevre. Thank you for your leadership. I know these men and women appreciate what you do, and honestly, you guys are always beating the bushes with us, trying to get them the highest and most high quality of equipment that our citizens need to provide first-class service. So with that, I've said enough. The wind's picking up a little bit, and at this time, I'm going to introduce Chief Lefevre. Chief, come on down.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. First, I want to say thank you to all that are here today, and especially I want to mention the commissioners. We appreciate your heart for the fire department and for this community, because when you look over at this engine, there's a lot more to this than pretty red paint. There's a lot of heart that goes into this by our firefighters. They'll take pride in this, in serving our community, and that's the most important thing is what we can give to our community. We're here to serve. And I appreciate the hearts of each and every one of you guys out there. I wanted to quickly give you an idea of what we've got here for those of you who are not familiar. This engine is built by E1. I think Director Murphy mentioned that, out of Ocala, Florida. They're represented here today, and they did an exceptional job on this truck. It's equipped with a Cummins 450 red top diesel engine with an automatic transmission. It carries 1,000 gallons of water with a capability of pumping 1,500 gallons of water per minute. You think about that, 1,500 gallons per minute. It's equipped with, it already is loaded and ready to go. As soon as we push this truck in, it'll be in service today. It's equipped with 2,450 feet of water supply and fire attack hose. It's equipped with a variety of tools, including extrication equipment. And one of the most important things, and y'all probably know this, a good many of our calls are medical calls. And so this truck is equipped with medical gear, basic medical gear for life support. In the event there's a medical emergency somewhere, we have an AED and medical bag, because a lot of times the guys on these trucks will be at the scene before an ambulance ever arrives. And so so this is more than just a fire truck. It says so much more than fire. Real quickly, I want to give you a history on the push-in, why we're doing this and what happened, well, what the history behind that. Dating back in the 17th century, when hand-drawn fire apparatus returned from a fire call, the apparatus would be cleaned, and then they'd have to push it back into the station. In the 18th century, horse-drawn apparatus, after the horses were disconnected from the steam pumper, firefighters would once again have to push in the apparatus. When the first motorized fire engine was put into service in the early 19th century, firefighters continued to honor the push-in tradition, which grew to mark each purchase of a new fire apparatus. And so it's been, and so we want to continue that tradition today. I want to ask all of our firefighters that would participate in the push-in of the new engine, if y'all would gather around the engine, and we're gonna carry on with this ceremony.